Hey guys, it's Steph from Hot and Moving, and there really hasn't been much to talk about Stephen A. Smith in a while. And also he's been on vacation off of ESPN. And I think he hasn't really made a lot of content recently on his platform as well, Stephen A. Smith Show. So it's been like a couple weeks for each platform, I think. Definitely on ESPN though. But Stephen A. Smith magically finds his way back in the headlines. And it ain't for nothing good. I mean, everybody's talking about this. Man, I think he really steps in this one. We're going to play a clip in a minute. But we know that Stephen A. Smith has dabbled in politics, talking to Ben Shapiro, Megyn Kelly, Bill O'Reilly, Sean Hannity, the list goes on and on. He's always claimed about, he wants to have a platform where he can talk politics. That was part of the reason why he got his deal at ESPN, so he can be separate from the stuff he does on ESPN. Okay, he's, you heard rumors of him possibly running for presidency, right? He brings all these different people, and especially conservative people, and says that, he wants to have a fair discussion, and I'm all for that. Okay. It's always nice to have a platform where you can bring in people that you disagree with. And he's done that. So I can't knock him on that. However, what I can knock him on, though, is that, pick a camp and stick in it and stay in it. All right. He acts like he's not conservative. He acts like he's an independent and all this other stuff. I don't think so. Okay. And then most recently, he wants to tackle this Jeffrey Epstein case, right? Or at least bring his, he's on a Chris Cuomo show. I'll play the sound for that soon. But I mean, he wants to chime in on that. And when he chimes in on it, it is not a good take. I'm going to play it and get back to you guys.
You're in an uproar off the Epstein list? That's all you've got? It's really, really surprising that this matters. Of course, I think there's a list, but I don't know. I suspect, but I have no knowledge, nor do I care. It's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out and enjoy myself. I'm getting ready to have a nice weekend. I can give a damn about the Epstein client list. This has no effect on me whatsoever. I have a life. I don't understand for the life of me why this matters so much to these. I'm talking about people losing it. They're crying on camera. They're talking about resignations. They're pissed off about everything. I'm like, really? With all the stuff going on in this country, with all the power that you possess because of the cachet and the influence you have because of your connection to this administration, that's why you upset at Trump? I didn't blame Trump one bit for looking at them and saying, really? That really matters to you? That's really that important? Mm-hmm. Now, maybe he had a different reason for saying it, trying to be evasive or whatever. I don't know. But I do know this. In the grand scheme of things, it ain't going to affect the lives of over 2 to 300 million Americans. No. I think we'll be just fine without knowing whether or not there was really a client list. I think we'll be okay. It's unbelievable that this is a big deal.
Okay, so you heard what Stephen A. Smith had to say, man. Horrible take. All right, he's on the News Nation with Chris Cuomo, who used to be on CNN. I think News Nation is more independent, but I think they lean right at times, way more. They could be a right news organization. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's on there. All right. And, I mean, he talk about missing the boat. Is ESPN happy about this? I mean, this is the guy you just paid $20 million, and this is the dangerous territory you have when you have a guy on ESPN now doing politics. And not only doing politics, talking about the president, talking about, stuff like this, the Epstein case, and quote files, quote client list. Stephen A., if he's that plugged in politics, why are you acting like people don't have a vested interest? People had a vested interest in this for the past 6 years. All right. Part of the reason why Trump won the second time around was definitely, talking about releasing that list, exposing these elites, you know what I'm saying? The whole MAGA crowd, there's a section that is part of that conspiracy crowd and hates cover-ups and wants transparency and wants the government to stop hiding things that are obvious. Okay, we're not going to go over the alleged things or things that Jeffrey Epstein has done as it relates to all kinds of things, and being partners with celebrities and pictures and all that stuff, and the Ghislaine Maxwell, whatever it is, all that stuff, right? There's a whole lot of things that people want answers on, and when the administration said that there's no list, and we get that weird security cam footage with that 1.5 minute clipped out, and if changes, it fuels the fire of conspiracy people and just adds ammunition as to why people don't trust the government. And to say it doesn't affect people's lives, well, that's wrong, because when you have a lying administration covering up things that Epstein's have done and victims in that situation, if a person like that can get away or hide information like that can be harmful, then that's a very hurtful kind of government, hurtful administration, to not be truthful and be fully transparent about everything that's went on. Okay, Epstein mysteriously gets deleted. There was that other lady earlier this year, mysteriously gets deleted, who was apparently a victim in all this, or was a victim in all this, right? Not a good look for Stephen A. Smith to be saying this. We know he's friends with Donald Trump. He's said on many occasions. Okay, and for him to say to agree with Donald Trump as to say, like, why do people care about this? It's going to be a big PR hit to Stephen A. Smith, man. It really is, I think. He's built a reputation of getting conservative people on his side, through social media, because of the different right-winged people he'd bring on to interview. He was gathering those people and to make mockery, like, I got things to do. This was a very serious issue, okay? This is the part of politics that people do care about. This Epstein case was a vested interest for millions of people, and to dismiss it, okay, some people care about the border, some people care about the military spending, okay, some people care about, like, what's going on in the Middle East, okay, people care about this Epstein case right here, right? And it felt like a lot of Americans felt like they got slapped in the face for not getting for not feeling like they got full transparency on that. And it's like, once again, the government wants to sweep things under, okay, after when this whole administration and many people in their cabinets, saying they're going to release the files, all this stuff, right? That files on my desk, all that type of talk. Now, here, it's crazy that this is where Stephen A. Smith, the politics gets bad, okay? He started feeling himself, and how do you get back from that? How are you going to clear this up? Right, he's trying to be like, oh, I don't care. People still care about it. We have other important things to do. I mean, this is a very important issue, okay? Because if the government lies about this, what else can they lie about? Which we know the government has lied in the past on many things, okay? Again, this adds fuel to the fire. All right, this adds ammunition to that base of people who supported Donald Trump and the administration. They feel like they got played, and in this day and age, you can't just sell things now to people. The government can't just assume people aren't going to do the research, or the amount of information that's out there. Okay, this is not early 2000s. This is 2025. 2025 is almost over. We got a few more months. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a new age. All right, people aren't just going to buy the slop that the government tries to sell. And for Stephen A. Smith to be this dismissive about it is not good. And, look, could this cost him his job? I'm not saying, I don't know. I don't think so. Not that serious, but it does let you know who he is, how he's thinking. It comes off very self-centered, and not understanding of why people have a vested interest in this. It's crazy. I mean, he almost sound like Trump himself. Why do people care about this? He agreed. I agree. Why do people care about it? That is crazy for him to say something like this. This could damage this possibly could damage other aspects of his career, or maybe this could open doors for him being that type of commentator. To be that type of shock commentator, to go against the grain, to be different for clicks and stuff like that, and to say outlandish things like this. Absolutely crazy, man, with Stephen A. Smith. I don't even watch him for his political things. I try to give him a try, but you know what? Doesn't pick a side. Definitely conservative the way I feel he leans. I've talked about this in the past couple years ago, and here he is. He's on the political fence now, and he's putting his foot in his mouth. Let me know what y'all think about all this, man. The latest Stephen A. Smith, what he had to say in regards to not caring about why people care about the Epstein case, and agreeing with Donald Trump, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.